All right. So one of the biggest questions that I get from my clients is, why does a man choose another woman over me? Right. What are the components that leads to that decision making? First of all, you have to understand is that the decision of who a man dates is not a rational decision. It's not a 1+1 type of thing, right? And also, if you look at it from a woman's perspective, you will never understand why a man chooses a man, another woman over a man. Well, if he chooses a man over you, then he's just gay. Right? Gay. So we're going to be talking about that today in this video. And don't forget, if you guys want one-on-one coaching, go to mindfulattraction.org. Click on the description down below. Attend my seminars if you're in London. And don't forget, pre-order my course, Emotional Mastery. It's going to come out by the end of this week, okay? So let's begin with the video. And follow me on Instagram. You can check my Instagram in the description down below. I also forgot to include, sometimes having history with a man, you can't beat a man who has history with a woman. It's just that simple, right? Especially if she broke up with him and she hurt him and she hurt his ego. A lot of times when you date a guy and he's been hurt, he's been traumatized by a woman, abused by a woman, a lot of times he's been trauma bonded. And when you're in that situation, it's better off you walk away. I don't care how good that poom poom is, all right? Don't let your egoic poom poom get in the way. When a man is not over another woman, it's best to walk away, because you're not going to win that battle. Even though it looks like it, she's going to come back eventually and reel him back in. Because sometimes some exes don't want to see their exes happy. They're just pure psychopaths, right? And the past has more power over some guys more than the present moment. Right. And you could tell that because, it's like he's not over his ex. I mean, there are various signs that show that a guy's not over his ex. But if you sense that, especially, you walk away. It's like when you date a guy who's on the rebound. They're on a break. It's a lot of time is online. They're on a break. And you notice that because a lot of times they just love bomb you. They fall in love with you fast. Right? And the reason why, maybe you even look like his ex. And the reason why is because they're trying to heal through trying to find someone to make them feel good. And then because they broke up, his ex comes back, and maybe they have a pattern of breaking up and coming back and breaking up. His ex come back, and then he just ghosts you, right? He picks her over you. Or maybe you've been with him, you don't even know he's not over his ex. And then he returns, and then you realize, oh wow, he left me for another woman. He left me for his ex. Well, that's because he wasn't over his ex, and she had more power over him than you have power over him. And it's very similar with you. When you're not over your ex and you're with a guy, you might even see your ex in the guy. You might be with him, but you're thinking of your ex. You're hoping that your ex hits you up, right? And you'll pick your ex who treated you like shit over this guy who might be Tyrone, the personal trainer, who's treating you well, giving you discounts, treating you like a queen, right? And you break up with him. All because Jake the quarterback wants to come back with you. And then he's like, oh, what the fuck is going on, man? I treated her well. I did exactly what the legend said. And here comes Jake the quarterback, taking my girl, right? And he'll be puzzled. But if he understands that the reason why you left him is just because you're not over your ex. The whole time you were hoping that your ex hits you up, right? You were holding on to the past. You might even accidentally almost call them by the wrong name, right? And it's unfortunate, right? Because it's hard to tell sometimes. Sometimes people hide that. And like, you could be better looking than the ex, and if you're still not over the ex, you're not gonna win. You could be more rich. You could be more successful. You could get better sloppy toppy. You could do better backflips, better front flips, better somersaults. If he's not over his ex, she has power over him that you cannot have. It's just that simple, people. He'll dump you at the flip of the switch if the ex comes back. And if that happens, don't feel bad. It wasn't your fault. It really wasn't. Now, a lot of times you'll notice that they're projecting because they want to speed things up. And that's why I always tell you guys, slow it down. Slowing down gives you so much power, so much leverage. Just slowing it down, right? So Now, a lot of the times, as you can see, this decision of love, it's not rational. And we're going to explain why. It's not a rational decision, right? So, because of the fact that it's not a rational decision, you have to understand that looking at it from a woman's perspective, you have to understand that sometimes it's going to confuse you. Sometimes you're going to see it and it's not going to make any sense. It just won't. And trying to make sense out of something that doesn't come from a place of rationality, love, when you fall in love, you don't fall in love with your frontal cortex. You don't say, oh, this person is this person is that. So you know what? Let me flip the switch and fall in love. No, you just fall in love. And you don't know why you fall in love. It's like thunder. It just happens, right? You could fall in love with somebody in freaking Timbuktu or in Africa or in China. It just happens. You just fall in love. So trying to understand why and trying to understand and compare yourself to somebody else, it's not worth it. It truly isn't. It's not worth your self-esteem. When a woman chooses another man over me, like I never complain. For example, like when I used to do, I still do online dating, but not as much. When I used to do it, I knew deep down that women picked white guys more over me. I knew it, but I never cared to even ponder that or even use that as an excuse because it only hurts me. It just does not. When I go to South America or I go to Europe, that shit changes, people. Ladies and gentlemen, when I'm outside of the United States, I'm white. Right? Like, it's funny how that works, right? Outside of the United States, I notice like they don't even need to know that I'm American. I notice that it's just a big drastic difference. Like women's taste. It's not that I'm ugly. I'm not ugly, but it's just funny how in the United States I'll have less results, but when I go to Europe or I'll go to South America, it's people's tastes are different, right? And I'm not here to figure out why. You know what I'm saying? It only hurts my self-esteem. So that's one thing. Stop trying to understand why he picked another woman over you. Let's go to a commercial break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't purchased any of my courses, we have a special bundle deal for everyone. So that you can purchase all of my courses, meaning you could purchase the psychological game of attraction, natural chemistry, and nice girl, along with all of the bonuses. Originally, if you purchase everything without the bundle, it'll be around $500, to be honest with you. But right now, if you guys purchase it, with the bundle, you guys will be able to get all of these courses: psychological game of attraction, which is for women who are single; natural chemistry, which is for women who are in a relationship; nice girl, which is a course on assertiveness, along with all of the bonuses: social mastery, practical mastery in terms of how to master anything, social mastery in terms of how to master your social skills, and the laws of human nature, wherein it's part of the Robert Greene book club I used to have. All of these, naturally, like I said, it's $500. Now you get it at $394, which is essentially 20% off everything. But if you guys want to purchase a more affordable bundle, you guys can purchase the bundle without the bonuses, and that will be at $224 rather than the $300. Well, rather than the $293 that you guys would naturally purchase it. So you could purchase it with the bundle or without the bundle. You could purchase it with the bonuses or without the bonuses. It's all of the work that I put in the last 4 years, in the last 5 years, actually, all of the research that I've done. And this course, rather than watching all of my videos, and because they could be random and you could sort of like lose the big picture because there's just so many videos, you guys get all of the content condensed in a course. Trust me, people, if you guys purchase this, you won't regret it. If you haven't purchased it, hopefully this will push you towards it, because it's something that I believe in, and everyone who's purchased my course have been satisfied with it. And if they didn't like it, I always give their money back. I have never rejected a refund. All right. So purchase it right now. Click on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle, and I'll see you guys inside. Now, there are some things about you. There are some things that actually why he picked them, right? So the first one, stop looking at it from a woman's perspective. A guy, just because you're a successful woman who has money, who is a boss bitch, that is not the determining factor as to why he's going to pick you over another woman, and vice versa. You're looking at it from a woman's perspective. Guys are not looking for women with resources. Only sugar babies are. Only guys who are trying to get money off of you. A lot of women make the mistakes thinking that if I become successful, if I make a lot of money, I'll become the full package. As a woman, that is not what a man sees as a full package. I'm sorry. That's what a woman sees in a man. That's called projection. What they look for, studies show this, is more one. And ladies, listen to what I'm about to tell you. Don't click out of it, okay? Because it's gonna sound bad at first, but it's gonna sound nicer the more you watch, okay? Don't unsubscribe, all right? Put the mouse down, put your hand on the table, and don't unsubscribe, okay? I know you're twitching right now to subscribe. It's youth, right? That's the first thing. A guy will see youth. A lot of women, and that's one of them. Not all of it, but that's one of them. A lot of women will tell you that in their early 20s, they didn't date. They focus on their career, thinking that once they reach a certain age and they're successful, that they're gonna use that's gonna be one of their benefits over other women. And they realize that the guy then picks a bimbo from the bar over her, and who's like successful and who's possibly broke, right? It's so that's one aspect, not all of it, but one aspect, which I have to highlight, and I cannot lie to you guys, okay? Just like I understand that women choose guys who are over 6 foot. I'm 5'10". Women will choose. I understand that reality too, okay? The next one is displays of health, not just youth, but demonstrators of health. So youth is one part, right? Which youth also indicates health, but also indicators of health are, for example, I am 15 pounds overweight, right? I have a 27 MBMI, and studies show that if I lower my MBMI by approximately 6%, which will mean 15 pounds losing weight, I'll look more attractive. Now, it's not just the fact that I look more attractive; it's the fact that I'm getting healthier. My face will get sharper. My masculine features will become more pronounced. But that's an indicator. The attractiveness is like the fruit of a plant that's fertile, right? You don't have to be younger. Just get healthier. If you start eating healthier, what happens? Your skin gets better. You're happier. You lose weight, right? And all of that is just an indicator that you're getting healthier, right? So just be healthier, eat healthier, right? So that's one thing, is that a guy will pick a woman, a guy will pick the healthiest woman. That's one aspect. That's just one aspect. The next aspect is the emotional compatibility, right? Make sure you're not a psycho. And, and if you're crazy, find some help. Talk to someone. A guy will pick an emotionally stable woman over a woman who's unhinged. A guy will pick a woman who's emotionally stable, and she might be older, over a young woman who's hot but kind of psycho. He might bang the young psycho, but when it comes to being in a relationship, he's gonna pick you because you are emotionally stable. Emotional stability is a sign of beauty, in my opinion. Emotional stability will keep your beauty in the long term. Why? Because by being emotionally stable, you essentially learned how to cope with stress in a healthy way, which means this: that young woman who's emotionally unstable, that's hot today, will learn will find negative coping habits, maybe cutting, maybe eating bad and getting overweight over time, maybe pushing people away, maybe isolating herself, maybe having bad spending habits. All of those things add up over years, and the stress of not coping with your emotions is shown in your face, and it's shown in your non-verbals, and that pushes people away. So emotional stability is so underrated. It's such an underrated aspect that women tend to ignore. That if you just focus on being emotionally stable and healthy, you win. You just do. And a guy who's smart, who wants good things for himself, will pick you over a woman who has no emotional stability. I can promise you, man. I like psycho bitches are crazy. They're just crazy. They're out of their minds. They're so crazy. I have to record our conversations in a legal state just in case she says some shit. Like seriously, like they're out of their mind. And I don't care how hot you are, how good the sloppy toppy is. I'ma pick Maria, the Catholic girl, who's completely stable, over Becky, the white girl, who's hot, who got the hangers. Man, I may pick Becky right now, right? But it's a fucking psycho. Like, remember the story I told you about the girl who fucking tried to punch me in the chest twice after me telling her not to do that? I immediately kicked her ass out. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. You must be out your goddamn mind. And close the door while you're at it. Jesus Christ. All right, so that's one thing, right? The emotional stability, right? Youth, displays of health and emotional compatibility and stability. Now, the next thing that a man will pick another woman over you is the level of baggage that you have, right? Now, the older you guys are, the more baggage a man is willing to accept. Why? Because that's just life. That's just life. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that the standard's lower. It's just that you begin to see that sometimes baggage is it's not as bad as you think, right? And when you get older, your perspective changes about how you view baggage. And you begin to just say, I just want somebody in my life. And you could say that is a healthier way of seeing it, you know, just the level of baggage. And that baggage comes down to not just having kids, right? But the biggest type of baggage is emotional baggage. And if you don't have that, and the way you develop emotional baggage is when bad things happen, you have bad coping mechanisms. Rather than allowing yourself to feel the emotion, you become a victim in your mind. And you begin to see predators, because you're a victim, predators all around you. You make predators out of good people. And you begin to create unnecessary misunderstandings that sabotage all of your relationships, right? All that baggage is not good, right? Just like extra fat, emotional baggage will tear you down eventually, right? Let's say I'm gonna say one more thing. Debt, don't be in debt. That's not good. All right, debt ruins a lot of marriage. Have good spending habits, and that comes down to emotional stability. Money is an emotional thing. It's more emotional than monetary, and if you don't have your emotions in check, you're gonna spend a lot of money. All right, let's just say that. So baggage. So learn to process emotions. Learn to deal with rejection well. When you don't learn how to deal with rejection, you become bitter. And you create enemies out of good people. Stop doing that. Learn to practice more meditation. Develop a meditation practice. It'll allow you to let go of unnecessary baggage. Or pre-order my course, Emotional Mastery, which will be out at the end of the month. The next reason why a man picks another woman over you is just that he may want a trophy wife. It's just that simple. He's at a stage in his life where he doesn't want good things. It's like people, right? People have a period in life where they eat unhealthy. And then they have a period in life where they eat healthy. And the reason why is because they prioritize the healthy things. And it's literally like a period in their life where they just eat like shit, right? So it's the same thing. Is that sometimes a guy's looking for a good woman, and then sometimes guys are at a stage where they just want a trophy wife, and that's where a lot of guys get the sugar babies and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's one thing. They just want the trophy wife. Now, the next one is a guy will pick another woman over you is depending on your level of masculinity. A guy will pick a woman who's more feminine over a woman who's more masculine. It's as simple as that. And that comes down to the first point, is that a lot of the times women who are super successful are successful primarily because they have a lot of masculine traits that help them in the business world. Right? Masculine traits help in the business world. It makes men respect you more. Like, that's just how it is, right? And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it is what it is. A man will pick a feminine woman over a masculine woman any day of the week. A man will sense your femininity by your vibe and by your energy. All these girls from New York who are like, motherfucker, I'm from New York, man. Like, I'm from New York, nigga. I'm from New York. I'm a girl. I'm from New York. That shit is so unattractive. My God, have mercy. Holy crap. Like, I feel like I'm dating Tyrone the dude All these girls who have this like this I'm tough, I'm gonna beat you up if you don't. I'm a bad bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like the type of like Megan Thee Stallion. Don't do that shit. That is such a turn off. That too much masculinity, and a man will pick a feminine woman over a masculine woman any day, any day. And usually that masculinity is there out of defensiveness, because maybe you've been hurt and maybe you developed a coping mechanism by being aggressive. And that aggression marinates your senses, marinates your nonverbal cues, and you begin to talk and act like a man. Why? Because that's how you had to defend yourself, because maybe you were hurt. You know, it's like guys who are ultra masculine because they've been hurt as a child, right? And so some women develop that trait. Femininity, that softness, attracts men, right? That whole masculine energy just attracts guys that are feminine. Like masculinity attracts femininity. It's like two alpha males. Two alpha males cannot coincide. Now that doesn't mean you're submissive, right? Like I said, submission under condition, right? You could be you could be submissive, but with an assertive attitude. That is completely different than just being submissive out of learned helplessness, right? So understand that there are many reasons why a guy will pick another woman over you. An older guy will pick a older woman over a younger woman simply because he might want more maturity, simply because he might want more stability, right? Or sometimes a guy picks a younger woman over an older woman because they're at a certain stage where they just want some poom poom. You can't change people. You have to take them as they come and find somebody who wants you for you. Just because somebody doesn't want you doesn't mean you're not wantable. You know, some women don't want me. Some women don't like me. That's totally fine. I'm at peace with that. You have to be at peace that some people just won't like you. You're not everyone's cup of tea. Not everyone likes pizza. Not everyone likes burgers. But burger and pizza is incredible. But not everyone wants it. People have stages where they want pizza. People have stages where they want burgers. But then people have stages where they want a healthy meal, a steak and vegetables, right? But that doesn't mean one is better than the other. It's just that people want at a different stage in life. And you have to see yourself as that. Some people will want you at a certain stage, and some people will not want you at another stage. And all you have to worry about is yourself, being present, learning to process those types of rejection in a healthy way so that you don't create baggage. Learning to love yourself through being present in the moment. And that's how you do it, people. All right? All right. Anyways, hope you're still subscribed to this channel. I know I say a lot of things sometimes, and it sounds kind of crude, and it sounds kind of like, like a little rough sometimes, but I can't lie to you guys. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten in trouble for being too honest, but I guess it helps with this channel. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindforattraction.org. You guys can have private sessions with me where nobody knows about it, like calls, and if you guys ever, take care. See you guys later.